Guys, I am so worried about Avatar Studios right now. I just can't believe this keeps happening. If you thought the Avatar Aang movie leak was bad, well, things just got even worse. And I didn't even think that was possible. I've made so many videos on this that I didn't think it could get even more insane than this, but it actually did. Not only now is the movie leaked, but the actual DVD and Blu-ray release has been leaked and is now going crazy, selling everywhere on eBay for like 20 bucks a pop. So hit that subscribe button and let's break down how this Avatar Aang movie leak situation just got even worse. So honestly, I was just about to go to bed, but I was scrolling through Twitter and I came across some eBay listings that honestly made me stop and stare for a solid minute. Somebody out there is claiming to sell the official Blu-ray and DVD copies of the Avatar Aang movie, the leaked one and the one that Paramount has been frantically trying to scrub off the internet for the past month. And this has caused absolute chaos in the Avatar community. People are going crazy because nobody thought it could get any worse, and now it's just, I feel so bad for these animators, honestly. And I'm going to discuss exactly how this DVD and Blu-ray leak actually got out there because it makes so much sense with how the original leak already happened. All the puzzle pieces fit together to how this leak actually happened. Now, if you've been following the whole saga, you already know how absolutely insane the last month has been. Paramount first yanked the Avatar Aang movie from the theatrical slate back in December, announcing the film would only be a Paramount Plus exclusive, which is already a massive gut punch to the fandom that had been waiting on this thing since like 2021. And then in April, the Twitter user called I'm Still Dissing started posting clips, and within 48 hours, the entire movie was out there, getting passed around on WeTransfer links, torrent sites, and pretty much every corner of Twitter and every website you can think of. Paramount was basically playing whack-a-mole with DMCA takedowns ever since, and according to Torrent Freak, the Aang film has been one of the most pirated movies of the whole year so far. And then obviously the hacker got arrested in Singapore, and we found out exactly how he got the leak. And that was that he got it through the DVD distribution platforms. One of his friends at whoever was distributing the DVDs for this movie actually got the leak, had the link and shared it and said, don't share this with anyone else. And what did this guy do? He immediately posted 2 clips of it on Twitter for everyone to see. And that leads us to where we are right now with these eBay listings. eBay has decided to open up an entirely new can of worms. Physical copies are showing up, DVDs and Blu-rays with custom artwork and original artwork, some of which look genuinely proper, are appearing on the platform, and there are hundreds of listings. I've already seen tens myself, but looking on Twitter, it looks like there's hundreds of listings. People are listing them from anywhere from like $5 to like $30, and I saw some over $100. Don't buy those, come on. I mean, if we're being real, don't buy this at all, but wait for the official. We need to support the release. But anyway, with that said, there's a bit of a debate between some fans. Some people are calling them fake, and others are convinced that they're legitimate screener copies that got loose somewhere down the distribution chain, probably from the same guy who leaked to the original guy who got arrested on Twitter. Now, you might not know that movies of this scale go through dozens of external vendors during post-production and pre-release, from the sound mixers to the color graders to the international distributors who receive preview copies for the marketing rollouts and the different formats of DVD, because as you know, there are different regions of DVD and they have to be compatible with the region you're going to sell them in, so one distributor can't handle the entire release for the entire world. And that is why Paramount has to use different distributors around the world, either their own arms from subsidiary companies or from external companies in regions where they don't have that big of a presence. Now, this is actually quite rare though, because an Inverse article that I read recently actually noted that this kind of high quality pre-release leak hasn't actually happened since probably the infamous Wolverine origin situation in 2009, which itself traced back to a preview copy prepared for Rupert Murdoch. So however that got leaked, who knows? If the theory that it did actually leak from the distribution stream around the world, then it is possible that this movie actually gets pulled both from Paramount Plus and from a DVD release, and it may just never get released at all, because this just keeps getting worse and worse for Paramount. First, they took it out of the theaters because they probably thought it wasn't going to do well in theaters. I think they're horribly wrong about that, but clearly that is what their marketing and their money guys said behind the scenes, so they pulled it out of theaters. And then, to get even worse, it got leaked everywhere, and then the animators are in absolute pain. The money guys are like, why do we even do anything for this franchise if it's just going to get leaked and everyone's just going to pass it around? That's what they're thinking. Obviously, they're wrong. This movie has so much potential. This is one of the most loyal and hardcore fan bases in entertainment. I'd say it only rivals Star Wars, and now the Star Wars fan base is dying off because the new content is just terrible. So obviously, they're going to take the wrong lessons for this. As sad as it is to say, the Paramount executives are definitely going to take the wrong lessons, because all they see the Avatar fan base as a way to extract money from the fans who grew up with it as kids and now want to just bank on that nostalgia that we all had when we grew up with it in 2005 onwards. But anyway, let's actually look at the physical aspects of the DVDs to see if they're real. Genuine pressed DVD discs have specific markings on the underside, things like manufacturing codes and laser-etched serial numbers, and the artwork on a properly licensed Blu-ray case has a very particular standard from Paramount's home entertainment division, and they are not easy to fake convincingly. So a lot of what I'm seeing on eBay right now has that telltale DVD-R purplish or bluish underside, which is a dead giveaway for a homemade burn rather than a commercially produced disc, but there are a few that look honestly quite real, honestly. As you can see in the photos, the artwork is the official artwork that we've already seen released by Paramount, so that could easily just be copy-pasted onto a fake cover. But if it is real, then, I mean, that's their art. Of course they're going to use that. Now, some of these are just clearly fake and they're using like AI-generated composites pulled from the concept art and the promotional stills, but those ones are fake. We can disregard that. I don't even think I could show those because I don't want to get sued. And with all of that said, let's talk about what the Avatar community is feeling right now. And I can tell you it's at an absolute breaking point with all of this. Scroll through the Avatar subreddit, any fan Discord, any Twitter thread or anything like that on a leak related video, and the level of anger directed at Paramount is just relentless. The strange thing about it though is that most of the fandom seems perfectly fine with the fact that the leak happened in the first place, because they were mad at Paramount for not releasing it at all in the cinemas, but the fury kicks in when you start talking about the studio itself, because Paramount took a film that the entire fan base had been begging to see in cinemas for years. A project that the original creators, Michael Dante DiMartino and Brian Konietzko, had been building towards for years and just wanted to quietly dump it on a streaming service, and then it got leaked anyway. And then you add in the fact that David Ellison's leadership at Paramount has been cancelling animation projects left and right over the past few months, and you can see why people just don't want to put up with it anymore. Why has this franchise, out of all the franchises, been treated so poorly? Ever since Avatar Studios has been created, we've got absolutely nothing on the screen. We have one movie which hasn't even been officially released yet, Seven Havens, which could be coming. I mean, who knows if that'll get cancelled with the way Paramount treats the studio, and people are just not happy with it. And then that leads us onto what the animators themselves have been saying about all of this. And this is the part that makes the whole situation so heartbreaking to watch unfold in real time. We have Julia Scholl, one of the animators of the film, who posted on Twitter about working on the movie for years, with the expectation that the team would get to celebrate it together in cinemas, only to instead watch their shots get passed around Twitter like Halloween candy. If you look at all the responses from the artists who worked on it, it's pretty clear they did not want this movie leaked. And now to have the actual DVD for it leaked, at this point I don't even know if they're going to release it on Paramount Plus anymore, because they might just be that angry. But I am going to talk about a very small plan that they could use to save this movie and hopefully save the franchise. So we know that the official release for this movie is actually October, it's not right now. So they have a few months left to go, and they could make some changes to the movie and, I don't know, maybe some extra dialogue if they can do it, maybe change the voice actors to the original. I know that's a big ask, but it could happen. If they do that and then market it as a special edition like the Star Wars movies did, and George Lucas made plenty of money on that, they could give a reason for everyone who's already seen the movie, which is probably millions at this point, to go and actually pay to see it in theaters, because they're going to be getting a different experience, and those people are going to want to see what is different about the movie. What have they changed? Have they added any extra plot points? Have they added the OG voice actors? And then those who haven't seen the leak will obviously go and see the movie anyway, because they haven't seen it anyway. So it's a win-win situation if they can do something like that. I've mentioned it in a few videos now, and I really hope you guys can get behind this, and maybe Paramount will see it, and maybe we can amplify it and get it happening. And look, if they can't do extra animation because there's not enough time, I do understand that, but the voice actors, they can record those lines in weeks. So if they really wanted to do it, they could put the OG voice actors back in. And the voice acting in the movie was one of the weaker parts of it anyway, so I would not be opposed to them getting the OG voice actors back to re-record those lines. But anyway, thanks so much for watching, guys. I really hope you enjoyed the video. If you want to know more Avatar Aang movie leaks just like this, if you want all the updates, make sure to hit the subscribe button, leave a like down below, and if you made it this far, drop a thank Mr. Aang in the comments down below. I'll see you next time.